from the Soviet Union, ready to compete. This is Olesya Dudnik. She too has opted to compete on the balance beam for her third and final event. Now, as a team, they need 19.55 to tie Mills and Kirksey.
Very difficult mount. She mounted with the round off onto the board and then did a back layout step out. Beautiful aerial cartwheel into 2 back layout step outs. Just an incredibly difficult tumbling sequence. Ready for another pass. A round off layout full twist on the beam. Clearly one of the most difficult skills that are being performed in the world on balance beam.
She did it like she was on the floor.
People always wonder, how do these girls learn skills like that on a beam? And in reality, they learn it on the floor. They have maybe a piece of tape that's 4 inches wide. They'll do it on the floor, then do it on a beam that might be just a few inches off the ground to give them confidence. And finally, of course, they can do it on the high beam. Just that when you miss, it's a lot harder fall than when you miss on a piece of tape.
Just keep raising the beam.
Setting up for her dismount, round off back handspring, layout triple twist. That's one of the most difficult balance beam routines that I've seen. She's sure to get a very good score.
Remember, Phoebe got a 9.85 for her routine, which included a small bobble. This certainly was a very difficult routine by Dudnik.
And her partner has chosen horizontal bar.
Vitaly Marinic is going to compete in his third apparatus on the high bar.
And Marinic chose this for a reason, because he is spectacular on horizontal bar. He does 2 skills that really most of us have never seen before. We knew they could and had been done, but when you see it back to back, it's just incredible. First, he sets up by doing a straddle pike Gaylord flip, named, of course, after our USA gymnast Mitch Gaylord. Ooh, barely caught it. Now here's this. It's a reverse hack right into a front flip catch, into a full pirouette. He did not do that in the American Cup. This is just a wild routine. Beautiful inverted giants. Now he's going to set up for his dismount. Usually he does a full twisting double layout. There it is. Oh, took a hop. I really wanted to see him stick that because I thought it could have been a 10.
What a set. Marinic smiling to the crowd. Much different expression than after he bobbled his pommel horse routine and finished with an 8.95.
Well, you've got to appreciate the margin of error there is just so minute. This is a reverse heck, but instead of going backwards over the bar, he cuts it short, does a front flip, and then reaches his hand under and catches it just like a Gaylord flip.
Now that defied gravity, what he did there.
Right into a full pirouette. Doesn't stop there.
I don't know how he got back into that bar. That was a move.
Boy, that just makes it fun to watch. He dismounts by doing a full twisting double layout. He does the twist nice and early, very crisp. Gets that twist over with, and you see him open up his chest so that he can see the ground very, very early. Then he just says bullseye right on the floor. So he's a little bit under rope, but he won't take that hop.
An interesting thing has happened in the pommel horse. Pat Kirksey, who fell off in this round, received a 9.0. He received a 9.85 in the last round. He too fell off, but I thought his routine was more difficult. But anyway, it's the third round now. She received a 9.90 for her balance beam routine, which was very, very difficult. You saw the combined total of 1975. His high bar routine netted at 9.85. We'll be back. Competition. It is Wendy Bruce and Li Jing. Wendy Bruce, like the 2 women before her, has opted for the balance beam as her third and final event. She is teamed with China's Li Jing, which is why you are seeing another USA competitor in the third and final round. Right now, our leaders are the team from the Soviet Union with a total of 57.85. In second, Mills and Kirksey with 57.65. But of course, Wendy Bruce and Li Jing have yet to compete.
This is a good event for Wendy, though, until she chose it last.
Now, the scores ahead of her on this event, and this is one that we can truly compare. Phoebe Mills got a 9.85. Dudnik got a 9.9. It's tough to beat.
Well, she certainly has her work cut out for her, but she's very strong. I don't know if she really planned on being in this position in this competition right now. If she can nail this routine, and if Li Jing can do a great job in his routine, they could be the first mixed pair, as I said, to win this title. Hasn't been done before.
Combined total that they need to tie is 19.1. Which kind of comes out to 9.5s for each of them.
So far, no problems. There's a front flip once again, very, very difficult. You can't see the beam until it hits you. It's always comforting when it hits your feet instead of something else. Now her dismount. A round off double back. One step. It's a good routine. Should score well.
A very solid routine, and in light of the fact that as a team they only need 19.1 to tie. The question is, was it better than 9.5, and how much better than 9.5 can he do on the horizontal bar?
Li Jing.
Well, it seems that the meet's going to just depend on this single performance, and he can do it. Very, very difficult. He does another variation of the Gaylord flip. You have to give credit to Mitch Gaylord for coming up with this skill, because not very many gymnasts really even try this skill. Many other skills have been imitated time and time again, but not the Gaylord flip. It's very blind, very, very difficult. Here it comes. He does it in the pike position, catches it. Beautifully done, right into a stalder. Now, here comes another set of double release moves. There's a reverse hecht, right into a Ginger.
I think we're looking at our first place team, if that's scored as well as it deserves.
If he lands this dismount correctly and stays on target, we've got some champions. A double twisting double layout. Little step, I think that'll do it.
Li Jing from China and Wendy Bruce, look at her face. She did a solid job and he did a great job. I wouldn't want to be a judge right now. This is one of the tougher finishes in this mixed pairs.
Now here comes the Gaylord flip. It's in pike position. Gets a lot of rotation. It takes him up and over the bar. You can see those hands just out there like radar saying, where is that bar? And he grabs it.
Now again to tie, they each needed 9.5.
Now here is his reverse hecht right into a flyaway with a half turn.
9.60.
He just can't do much better than that.
Again, Wendy Bruce on the balance beam. Now her score's already been announced. It's 9.60.
It looked like her feet were a little bit off to the side on that punch. Certainly didn't affect her dismount, though.
9.6 her score. He received a 9.85, and according to our calculations, they've won it. 58.2 is the total that we have, but of course we have to check our math to make sure. We'll be back with the final standings, but first these messages from Jacksonville, Florida. Are the 1989 McDonald's International Mixed Pairs champions. Their total 58.20. The Soviets finished second. Phoebe Mills and Patrick Kirksey of the USA finished third. Right now, let's go to Peter Vidmar.
I'm here with our International Mixed Pairs champion, Wendy. How did you feel going into that last event?
I was excited. I thought if I could hit it, we might have a chance now. I was confident. I had a little bit.
Were you nervous?
Not really. I was kind of just, doing my routine.
What's your next plans for the next coming months?
Well, there's the USA-USSR meet that I'm going to, and the ESPN meet I'm going to.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Li Jing, is this your very good friend, Hao Pan-yo?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, congratulations.
Peter Vidmar showing off his Chinese Hao Pan-yo, very good friend in Chinese. We'll be back with our top winners in each event in a moment. not part of the McDonald's International Mixed Pairs format, we thought you'd like to see who would have finished first in each apparatus. We'll begin with women's vaulting, where Phoebe Mills was the top performer. On the uneven parallel bars, it was Hungary's Henrietta Onodi. On the balance beam, from the Soviet Union, Olesya Dudnik. And Phoebe Mills again would have captured a second gold, but this time with a tie with Onodi, who too would have captured a second gold medal. Moving over to the men's 6 events, they too began on the floor exercise with Wes Suter, the top performer, at 9.6. But the pommel horse was trouble.
A lot of problems from pommel horse. In fact, the 2 most important routines of the meet were the blown routines on pommel horse by Patrick Kirksey and also by the Soviet Marinic.
Moving along now to the still rings, Vitaly Marinic rallied with a 9.60 to claim first place. On the vault, it was Li Jing from China.
And it was a spectacular, new, and innovative vault, similar to the girls' vault, that round-off entry.
On the parallel bars, again, Li Jing, 9.70. And on the horizontal bar, for the 3rd time, Li Jing from China, this time with a 9.85, but also with a tie with Vitaly Marinic.
2 of the most spectacular routines of the entire competition.
There you saw the best performances of the 1989 McDonald's International Mixed Pairs. We'll be back in just a moment. Li Jing, the McDonald's International Mixed Pairs champions of 1989. First place score, 58.2, followed by the Soviet Union, 57.85, and then the team from the USA of Phoebe Mills and Patrick Kirksey, 57.65.
It was quite close in this competition. I didn't expect it to be that close. However, you have to realize that everybody in this competition is doing their best events, and so therefore you don't leave too much room for error. I didn't expect some of the mistakes that I saw, but some of the mistakes are really critical and crucial. But we still had a great competition, and the best routines were saved for the end.
As typical, the tough part were balance beam and pommel horse, and they proved to be the difference between first and second place. Well, the new names and faces of international gymnastics have been introduced to you tonight. Let's see how many stick around till 1992. Today's coverage has been brought to you by the good time and great taste of McDonald's. For Peter Vidmar, I'm Leandra Riley saying so long from the 1989 McDonald's International Mixed Pairs.
Behind every single flight one of these makes stand the 60,000 professionals of United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.